Hi, my name is Lauren. I'm 16 years old, and my Girl Scout Gold Award project is titled Earth. And Earth is actually an acronym. It stands for Environment, Animals, Rivers, Trees, and Hope. My idea came from my childhood, where I spent a lot of my time outside with my family. And my brother is actually an Eagle Scout, which is the equivalent of a Gold Award for Girl Scouts. And the way he achieved that is by planting trees. So with my outdoor background inspiring my idea for this project, what I wanted to do is I wanted to raise awareness, because I've noticed that a lot of people who live in the cities, they might not have that special connection with the outdoors and nature, and I really wanted to re-spark that within our community, because I think that's so important for people to even just go outside and sit in their backyard like I am and just enjoy the weather for a minute. But in addition to just enjoying the outdoors, something I've noticed is that some people don't feel the responsibility to help take care of our environment. We were given this earth and this opportunity to live, and we need to cherish it and take care of it. We shouldn't take it for granted. If we take this for granted and we throw, let's say, a plastic cup out into the wild, that plastic cup's going to take a while to biodegrade, and there's multiple different types of materials that take longer times to biodegrade, and they can be very dangerous because they'll end up in our oceans and they can harm sea life, which in turn will come around and harm us. So it's very important for us to all play our part to help take care of this world. And then I started thinking, okay, well, how do I want to start this? Yes, I could go teach adults or people who are my age, who are teenagers or older children. But then I thought, what if I teach the younger children? What if I start where it all begins? Because if I teach them now how to take care of the environment, in turn, whenever they get older, their habits of taking care of the environment will be seen through their children. And it'll be this endless cycle of people teaching new generations on how we can help, which is a very important aspect. So now that I knew what I wanted to do, I needed to create a plan of action. So the very first thing I wanted to do was, I love photography. I'm a photographer, and it's something I'm very passionate about, and I wanted to incorporate that into my project. So I decided that I wanted to go out and I wanted to film some videos to post online for people to view, and then I could share those videos. So the first thing that I did was I started reaching out to local organizations that are involved with nature, and I reached out to Armand Bayou Nature Center. So I created 2 videos partnering with Armand Bayou Nature Center. The first one, I interviewed a volunteer there. And what she did was she talked about what the organization itself does and what the Nature Center does. And then in addition, my second video is something that I filmed and produced purely on my own. And so what I did was I would sit there with my camera and I would film different areas of nature, just peaceful. I wanted this very peaceful vibe to come from it. So what I did with that then is I overlaid music, and then I also added text describing what you can do to help take care of our environment. And I wanted people to feel inspired by it, to go out and do something, and to make an impact and to make a change. So then my next step in my plan of action was to figure out how I wanted to display these and how I wanted to spread this information that I had gathered from interviewing the volunteer and from talking to a club at my high school that's called Earth Club. And so what I decided is I wanted to go to local elementary schools, and I wanted to set up booths at their carnivals or fairs or science nights so I could hand out information. So I started emailing all these elementary schools asking if I could participate and if they would like to help me with my project. So this is where my first tip comes into play. Things won't always work out the way that you want them to during your Gold Award project, or the way that you envision them to work out. And that's okay. And yes, you might get frustrated at first, but just take a deep breath, because everything will work out. It's not going to be this simple, snappy project where you get it done and everything falls into place perfectly. You have to work with it, and that's something that the Gold Award is supposed to teach you. It's supposed to teach you how to solve problems. And that's something I definitely learned, because whenever I emailed the elementary schools, I emailed a lot. I emailed, I want to say, approximately 25. But I didn't get 25 emails back. In fact, I got very few back, and it was kind of sad to me at first, but then I realized it's okay that I don't have all these schools emailing me back, because these ones that did, they're really interested in my project, and they want to help me help the environment and help our community. So I came up with a list of things that I needed to do. First, I needed to find who's going to be my team and who's going to help me volunteer at these booths, because I need to act as a leader and show others what they can do to help. Second, what do I want to give out at these booths? What do I want to give these kids to remember why it's so important to take care of our environment. And then third, how do I want to decorate my booth? How do I want to make it look appealing? So the first one I had mentioned previously, I reached out to my high school's Earth Club. So my next step is I want to decide what I'm going to give to these kids to help them remember what they can do to help our environment. So as well as having a passion for photography, I also have a passion for art, and I love to be creative, and I love to incorporate my creativity into my projects and into my works. So what I decided to do is I was going to design a brochure. So what I did was I designed my own drawings to include into this brochure. And then as well as the brochure that I had designed to give out, I also designed a little craft to give out. I wanted to emphasize how you can use everyday materials around you and recycle them into a second purpose. So what I did was I designed a DIY bird feeder. I gave them each a cup of birdseed and a brochure to take home with them. This way they can remember the information that I wanted to get across to them. And then third, I had to decide how I wanted to decorate my booth. So I wanted to continue the aspect of recycling and repurposing items. So I designed a poster, and what I did for it though is I took magazines laying around my house that we no longer needed or no longer used, and I recycled them. I cut out pieces, and then what I would do is I pasted the pieces onto a poster paper into a picture that I wanted. So since my project is called Earth and it's all about saving our environment, I designed mine into a globe. And as for my tips for any girls aspiring to accomplish the Gold Award, go for it. Don't give up. Choose an idea that you're interested in. Find something that's extremely important to you and find what you want to do to help that. Things can get a bit complicated at times, but just take a step back and remember why you're doing this. Don't give up. Even if things seem difficult, if you're not getting responses from people that you need, if something fell through, if some of your volunteers didn't show up like they said they would, just take a step back and remember, I'm doing this because I'm passionate about it. I'm doing this because I want to make a difference. Don't give up. That's so important. Don't give up on your project. Your project is important to you. Don't forget that. There's so many things that you learn throughout the Gold Award project. You learn leadership. You learn how to work with people. You learn about whatever topic you chose, and it's all so important. It's things that you'll carry with you throughout the rest of your life, things that you won't forget.